slider is one of the most devastating pitches in baseball, baffling hitters across the major leagues, helping Archer to punch out 95 batters via the slider, the most in baseball. Tonight, Chris goes to the hill in the Steel City as the Rays look to win the rubber match against Andrew McCutchen and the Pirates. Tonight we welcome you to PNC Park on the shores of the Allegheny River, and we welcome you to the city of Bridges, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is the wrap-up game of this three-game series between the Rays and the Pirates. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard as the Rays play their 81st game of the year, the halfway mark, and the Rays are running third in the East, 3 games back. And you know, the saying is, so go the Rays as Evan Longoria goes. Well, that could be said of two gentlemen here tonight, Evan Longoria and Chris Archer.
Well, then let's talk about both of them. And let's start with Evan Longoria, because he's on another one of his fabled runs that he'll go on where he can really carry a team for a time. He's got a 6-game hitting streak, but look at what he's done in the power production department in the last 5 games. The average big, 4 extra base hits, including the 2 home runs, and 9 runs batted in, but he's done a really nice job of sparsing those out because he's had at least 1 RBI in 4 of these 5 games. Evan Longoria, once again, it's straight zone discipline. And you talk about straight zone discipline, how about Chris Archer, 3rd in Major League Baseball with 126 strikeouts. And Dwayne, you mentioned it in the opening tease, 75% have come with the slider. It's all about overpowering a lineup, and this is a lineup that has not seen Chris Archer very much. So he will go out there with the fastball and the slider and look to put them away and give the Rays a series win.
And a great pitching matchup tonight with Chris Archer after his 7th win of the year for the Rays, and Jamison Tyone on the hill for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and with a mark of 3-2, making his 10th start of the year. Rays and the Pirates just moments away. And oh, by the way, look what's happened in the All-Star balloting. Corey Dickerson tops the list for the American League DH, and the voting ends tonight. So keep it up, fans. You're doing a great job. We'll have more on that when we come back. All-Star balloting ends tonight. Finish line in sight. And a late surge by Corey Dickerson has put him in the lead in the DH spot. Here at PNC Park tonight, the Rays and the Pirates square off. Here's a look at the latest voting. Dickerson moving ahead of Nelson Cruz. And when you look at all of the numbers, it makes perfect sense. Cruz quality, no question. Edwin Encarnacion, the same thing. But Corey Dickerson is having an unbelievable year, and he'll go into the game tonight tied for first in hitting, and then pick a spot from there on.
Yeah, I mean, so well-rounded when you think about the home runs. He's tied with Encarnacion. He trails in runs batted in, and then that's it. More extra base hits, more triples, multi-hit games, hits, on and on and on it goes for Corey Dickerson.
And a quick look at the starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealer. Steven Souza Jr. leads it off. Then Dickerson hitting second in front of Longoria. Morrison, Beckham, and Peterson down the middle. Echeverria hits seventh at short. Sucre will catch tonight. Chris Archer will pitch and bat ninth.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Pittsburgh Pirates is going to be right-hander Jameson Taillon, making his 10th start of the season. Record 3-2 ERA, 3.33. Got a tremendous young arm out on the mound tonight.
And the first pitch of this game is a bit wide. 1 ball, no strikes. So we are underway. 82 degrees here. It's been a warm day in Pittsburgh. Souza takes ball 2. This one inside. You can see Taillon already up to 96. And that's about where he lives with the velocity on the fastball.
Big pitcher's build, 6'4", 225. Has the 4-seamer, the 2-seamer is going to sit in the mid-90s. He's got a changeup, and he's got a tremendous power curveball, a 12-6 type swing and miss curveball.
Now 3-1 to count. Alex Smith getting the night off. And Souza goes up into the leadoff spot.
You wondered if Corey Dickerson was going to go back up there. He'd spent a lot of time in the leadoff spot until Malik Smith became an everyday guy. But you know what? Comfortable, still swinging the bat well in the 2-hole, and more opportunities to drive runs in.
Souza all the way out on the count. Lifts it to the right side, and Bell, the first baseman, just on the edge of the grass into short right field, makes the catch. And here is Corey Dickerson headed to the plate, and right across the board you look at all the numbers on him, leading the American League in hitting, in total hits with 103, and multi-hit games with 33. And if it's around the plate, he's hitting it.
Still leads the league at swinging at pitches out of the strike zone. Right there, scaring off our squirrel, going high up into the trees in Cleveland. Big time power and tremendous bat speed, tremendous hand-eye coordination to be able to get to some of the pitches that he does.
A 1 ball, no strike count.
And that number right there, and I know I butchered it, but at 39 runs batted in, if he hadn't spent so much time in that leadoff spot, that number would be way up too.
Well, absolutely. When you look at his average with men in scoring position, it's 352.
Wow.
He hits right-handers, left-handers, tied for the league in hitting overall, and over 350 with men in scoring position. Takes a strike.
Now there's that curveball that we were talking about. He's got the same arsenal as Ivan Nova, but the breaking ball much sharper, as you saw right there, backdooring it to Dickerson.
This one pulled down the line. That's got some hook to it and is foul off the facing of the stands. Dickerson's at 330 against righties and .340 against lefties. So you couldn't ask for greater consistency at such a high level. It's out of play.
Now, after that fastball up and away there, Corey Dickerson doing a nice job of spoiling it. But you think back, maybe this is where he comes back with that curveball. Try to put Corey away, raise his eye level a little bit, and maybe try to backdoor that hook again. The pitch that he got the first strike on in this at bat. There it comes.
And a little fair ball picked up by the catcher Stewart, and the throw to first in time. There's a little dribbler right there. 2 gone.
Let's take a look at that Pirates defense and see how it's going to line up. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source in the outfield left to right. We have John Jaso, Andrew McCutcheon, and Gregory Polanco across the infield third to first. Josh Harrison, Jordy Mercer, Adam Frazier, and Josh Bell. Chris Stewart will handle the catching duties.
There's Clint Hurdle, the manager of the Pirates. They're running 4th in the National League Central with a record of 36 and 42. First pitch to Evan Longoria is a fastball for a strike.
That's another division that's all bunched up. Everybody around 4 or 5 games apart of each other.
Ooh, and Longoria hit by that pitch. So he'll head to first.
That one did not feel good. You could tell right away, Evan Longoria, the reaction. That ball just running up and in got him right that left shoulder blade. Oh man, those hurt. Getting hit up high in the ribs like that. That body language says it all.
Well, we saw Souza hit by a pitch in the ribs last night, and you made no bones about that. That didn't feel very good either. Now it's Logan Morrison. Pitch to him is away. Off the plate, 1 ball, no strikes. Morrison with 54 runs batted in. Here's another guy who you have to consider for the All-Star team because of his run production. Line drive, and that's going to be into right field over the shift. Longoria is going to go to third, and Morrison has himself a base hit. Two men on with 2 men out here in the first. That gives Logan Morrison a 10-game hitting streak.
Boy, nice job of pulling the hands in. Watch as this ball's up and in, and he's still able to muscle it out there. Tough against the shift too, as you see Adam Frazier out there able to drop it over him out in front of Gregory Polanco, and you hope that the Rays here can take advantage of that misplaced fastball into the back of Evan Longoria with 2 outs and play to run here.
Well, Tim Beckham is coming off a 2-hit night last night, hitting .282. And the pitch is a strike, says Paul Emmel. Beckham thought that pitch might have been a little close.
Tim Beckham may have been right too, as you see at Fox Tracks, and actually just watching that ball trail into home plate looked to be off and in. Emmel standing right over that spot.
Now the breaking pitch, and that missed. It's 1-1. 25-year-old right-hander on the hill for the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight, Jamison Tyone. Ground ball foul outside of first. Rays threatened after the first 2 men had been retired. punch that one close. A little something extra on that one. 2-2.
Yeah, up to 97. Yeah, the stuff here at Taillon it's almost just like Ivan Nova, just maybe a few more ticks in the velocity, but the fastball, the curveball, the changeup. The Rays just saw that last night.
And now that pitch blocked by Stewart. The count is full.
Well, you got to think if you're with the Pittsburgh Pirates and you know Jameson just coming off the disabled list. This is his 4th start since coming off the disabled list. You almost would want to split up Nova and Taillon because their stuff is so similar. At least their arsenal is.
Morrison breaks off first, and the pitch is a strike call. He threw him the 3-2 breaking ball, and the Rays leave 2. Bottom of the first coming, no score. The bottom of the first inning. Rays left a couple men on in the top of the frame. We'll take a look at the starting lineup for Pittsburgh, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Adam Frazier leads it off, followed by Josh Harrison and Andrew McCutchen. Josh Bell, John Jaso will hit 5th in front of Gregory Polanco. Jody Mercer hits 7th. Chris Stewart, the catcher, 8th. And Taillon, the pitcher, in the 9th spot.
Well, for Chris Archer, looking to make it 3 in a row as far as the wins go. He's won his last 2 starts. They were against Baltimore at Tropicana Field and in Detroit against the Tigers, making his 17th start of the season. ERA 3.88, and there you see the strikeouts, 126 in just 104 1/3 innings.
First pitch to Frazier is a fastball missing. Frazier hitting .278. Saw him in left field in the first game of this series, and Archer misses a little wide. 2-0.
They got guys moving all over the place. Josh Harrison, we've seen him all over. Frazier, second base, left field.
And now 3-0. 3 consecutive misses by Archer to start this one. Archer, for the first time this year, his last time out was under 100 pitches. He made 92 pitches in that win over Baltimore. There's a strike. 3-1.
Well, that was in 6 innings, so still, you know, a pretty efficient outing there for Chris. Got a lot of run support that ball game.
Ground ball chopped to 3rd. And Longoria's throw in time to get Frazier.
Let's take a look at Tampa Bay's defense here tonight, brought to you by Golden Diamond Source in the outfield left to right. Dickerson, Souza Jr. gets the start in center, and then Shane Peterson, Across the infield, third to first, Longoria, Echeverria, Beckham, and Morrison, with Jesus Sucre behind the plate.
There's Kevin Cash. He has the Rays a couple over 500. Third in the East. Harrison takes a low fastball. 1-0. Paul Emmel calling the balls and strikes. There's a strike. It's 1-1. And if you can be consistent, he is one of those guys who might widen the zone for you a little bit once in a while.
Old school.
Yep. Ooh, and now Harrison is hit by that pitch, and he'll head down the line to first base. Well, Harrison aboard.
Again,
a little smile down there on Morrison's face as
yeah.
Harrison reaches first base.
Well, the first thing that you think about is Evan Longoria getting hit, and then all of a sudden you turn around and Josh Harrison in just about the same spot.
Well, Harrison gets hit a lot. It's pretty amazing. I think that's the 17th time he's been hit.
Well, we have seen, and you know, he gets hit a lot and he's not up on home plate. You know, a lot of guys get hit because they're right up on the plate. He's like midway in the batter's box, but he dives like crazy, and we have seen the Rays pitching him in the entire series.
There's the breakout. Tops in the National League, hit by a pitch. Andrew McCutchen in the batter's box. Pitch down and away. Slider to start him, and he missed. McCutchen would not chase it. The Rays had a couple base runners in the first. Now a man aboard for Pittsburgh. McCutchen lines it into center. A base hit. One hop charged by Souza Jr. Harrison advances to second and stops there. So McCutchen, who has been hot, has a base hit his first time up.
You know, and a really nice job by Andrew McCutchen staying on and through that slider from Chris Archer. Had a lot of depth, but boy, he did a great job of staying back, not pulling off that pitch and staying in the middle of the field. We see a lot of teams struggle with the slider early on. Andrew McCutchen, a solid approach there.
The rookie first baseman Josh Bell. Bell homered in the game last night from the right side. There's a fastball at the knees for a strike. Echeverria and Harrison jockeying back and forth out there in regard to Harrison's lead at second. It's a ball and a strike. Home run last night came in the fourth inning off Blake Snell. His 15th of the year. The first time the Pirates have had a rookie do that since, well, you have to go back to Ralph Kiner's rookie season. Pitch is too low. Our Toyota inside look. A home run by Bell last night. And Ralph Kiner in 1946 had 15 before the All-Star break. Bell has matched that. And the fastball is a strike on the edge. 2-2.
It's that power, which is why the Pittsburgh Pirates wanted to get his bat, you know, in the lineup. We talked about it earlier in the series, a converted outfielder. but enough power potential. And try to find a position for him, and that's why he's getting all that work down at first base and making some strides down there defensively. That's a big adjustment, you know, going from the outfield and then coming in close. First base, think about all the throws that you have to take, the footwork that you have to master.
Yeah, it's more of a skill position than some people may think. You know, you think, well, I got a guy hit some home runs, stick him at first. You better be careful about that, because a lot of skill is required to play that position properly.
No question. It starts with the footwork, but how about the glove work? Picking up your infielders when they make a throw in the dirt. You're right. You just can't put anybody over there.
This ball headed toward the left field line and slicing out of play. Not a lot of foul territory here in Pittsburgh. That's a reason the hitters would like this park. Foul pitches away and extend a lot of at bats. Ooh, pretty good right there, and he did not get the call.
Well, you can see Josh Bell, how crouched he is here, trying to protect, and he gives up on this slider. The slider hangs a little bit, stays up in the zone, and that really could have gone either way.
That's the one thing about Emmel. He's not as likely to call that pitch up a strike as he is to widen the plate. And a swing and a miss, and a defensive swing on that. Boy, what a pitch that was. And Bell is out on strikes.
Well, that's making the adjustment. The last one hung, stayed up in the zone and out of the zone ultimately. And this one, Chris gets out in front and over the top of and does a really nice job of finishing. And then watch this down and in just disappear.
Two outs with 2 men aboard for John Jaso.
Second time we've seen Bell strike out while trying to get out of the way of a pitch.
First pitch to Jaso is a strike. Yeah, that's tough to do both and be productive. Tapper, that will be a foul ball. 0-2. Rays had a couple men aboard in their first, left them that way, first and third. Now the Pirates with McCutchen at first and Harrison on second. 2 outs in the first. And John Jaso with a 2-strike count. Jaso 320 for about the last month, hitting 240 overall. And the pitch upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Close, but a little wide. 2-2.
And you could see where Paul Emmel is set up. He is set up inside, closer to John Jaso, the left-handed hitter. And that's a breaking ball that starts off the plate away. So his angle at taking a look at that pitch, not only does it start off away, ends up staying away. Even though a borderline pitch, he does not get the call.
And a cut and a miss. That takes care of Jason. The Pirates here in the first. 2 men left, and we'll go to the second. No score. Fox Sports Sun brought to you by your local Ford dealer. By the Florida Department of Transportation. Drive sober or get pulled over. By Jeep, get great deals at the Jeep Spring Clearance Event. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. Rays and the Pirates dividing the first two games of this series. Shane Peterson goes after the first pitch and drives it deep into left center field, and it bounces up into the stands. A two-base hit for Shane Peterson, who loves to go after the first pitch, and with great success.
Well, this Rays lineup, they tell these guys to be up there ready to hit. Shane Peterson takes it as serious as anybody. And I'll tell you something else. You got a pitcher on the mound with a good fastball, the 3-pitch mix, and he likes to attack fastball early, especially the first time through the lineup. And Peterson was ready and waiting.
He's 6 of 11 now when he swings at the first pitch. There's a strike to Echeverria.
Well, the metrics people then, Dwayne, would tell you to swing at the first pitch every single time.
Yeah, you got to put it in play, but when he puts it in play, he is now 6 of 11. Pick out a good one and get after it.
Yeah. Hey, why not? A lot of guys, well, I shouldn't say a lot of guys. Every pitcher out there wants to pitch ahead.
Yep.
Wants to throw strike one. Now, it's got to be a quality strike. Some guys are just more concerned with throwing strikes, not quality strikes. So if you're ready to hit those and it's out over the plate, take advantage. Might be the best one you see.
It's a foul ball. Echeverria now down on the count. He had 2 hits last night, including a double. He was 2 for 3 with a walk. Drove in a run with a base hit and a fly ball in the game Tuesday. Rays won that one 4-2 and 10, and lost last night 6-2. And they're facing Jameson Taillon, the impressive young right-hander, just 25 years old. 2-2, just missed down.
So been some impressive takes by the Rays here in the early going on Taillon's curveball. That's how he likes to try to put guys away.
Ground ball to the left side. Mercer, tough play, no play. Holding at second is Peterson, and an infield hit for Echeverria.
Mercer had to move far to his right and too far to even think about making the throw on Echeverria, as he was shaded up the middle.
So the first 2 men aboard for the Rays in the second. We'll get the number 8 hitter, the Rays catcher Jesus Sucre, up. And Sucre hitting .245 overall, but .379 with men in scoring position. So again, another opportunity for the Rays in the second. Ground ball down to third. Out at third by Harrison. Throw to second. Out there. And they get the double play. So on the first pitch, Sucre hits into the 5-4 double play.
Taillon comes with the sinker down and in. He pounds it right into the ground. Immediately you're thinking, boy, a potential for maybe a triple play, but Harrison a little bit too far from the bag, but he's able to get the first 2.
And with the catcher hitting that ball, you're always concerned about that. Now Chris Archer. Pitch is a strike. One thing you can see early, Taillon might only be 25, but he's got a pretty good idea out there.
He really does, and that that's what these Pirates, the people around here, rave about him. His maturity, how seriously he takes his craft. He says that he enjoys the chess-like atmosphere that pitching and hitting. That little dynamic in the game. Guys trying to make adjustments and you trying to figure out where to go next. Really enjoys that part of it.
2-1 to count to Archer. Taillon's 4th start since coming off the disabled list due to testicular cancer surgery. That was on May the 8th. That's pretty amazing that he's back, and now this is his 4th appearance since then. A little wide. 3-1, and it has not been easy for him. Here is a guy who was the 2nd pick overall in 2010, had committed to Rice University, decided to sign with the Pirates, and he's had to overcome some physical issues. Had Tommy John surgery, came back from that, then missed the season with a hernia issue. Swing and a miss. Archer strikes out. The Rays leave a man. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. No score.
PNC Park, you're watching Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun. We had a chance to speak with Corey Dickerson before today's game, and he hasn't been asked yet, but he told us he'd like to take some hacks in this year's home run derby on July 10th. The event in Miami is something that Dickerson would like to participate in, and of course we know his skill has been on full display this season at the plate. With Major League Baseball on pace for the most home runs in its history, the home run derby should be one for the ages. Now Giancarlo Stanton will look to defend his crown. The other 7 participants will be announced next week. Guys.
Well, Corey Dickerson comes in with 17 home runs, and he certainly has the power and the stroke.
He's got such a quick bat, and he is a strong guy. Even though he came into spring training, we talked about it for really all of April, how he came in 25 pounds lighter, and Chad Mottola was wondering what's going to happen with the power. And as we've seen here in the first half, and especially in that blast right there in Cleveland into the tops of those trees, you don't realize how far that is away. That power, all of it is still there, and maybe then some.
Yeah, I think number one, he is quicker than ever. That's for sure. Strike to Polanco to lead off the bottom of the 2nd inning. 1-1. Polanco, Mercer, and Stewart due up against Chris Archer. And he has Polanco out in front. 1-2. Up the changeup in there.
I've seen a few of those here already. You know, there have been some starts where that pitch is, you know, factored in a little bit more than normal, but by and large, it's fastball slider. And it takes a way back seat. You may see a handful, maybe able to count them on one hand.
Well, you know, in
each
June,
game.
I think he's been under 5% with that changeup in June.
Yep, I believe that. You know, last year he didn't throw it that much, and he, for the season, was at 11, 12% in that range.
So the count holds at 2-2 on that foul ball by Polanco. Well, there's a comparison last year to this year.
Yeah, and you can see, right? I mean, the slider usage obviously has gone up a few ticks. The changeup has gone down. That's mainly where the difference is. He's become, I mean, fastball slider heavy, and the changeup, when you're down in that range of 6%, that's a pitch that hitters don't even pay no mind to whatsoever. You may fool them every now and then, but they're not even thinking changeup when they get up in the box.
Bouncing ball, second base, and Beckham takes care of Polanco.
You know, that's the other thing that makes you wonder if maybe that's why Chris Archer has struggled so much third and fourth time through the lineup, because he's made himself basically a bullpen pitcher, fastball slider. And yes, those pitches are very, very good, but second, you know, third and fourth time through the lineup, we've seen the, you know, the slider from time to time start to flatten out a little bit. Hitters are only looking for one of two pitches, and they start to make that adjustment as the game goes on, and the stuff is not quite as good.
Well, you can see right there on the list of pitchers who are heavily involved with the slider, Archer is at the top of that list with 46.2%, with a pretty good sized lead on Michael Pineda.
How about that? Everybody else bunched up between 36.5 and 38.5, and Archer just blowing them out of the water. Oh, listen, it's a great pitch. You know, at times it'll be a 90-mile-an-hour curveball with as much depth as he gets with it.
2-1 the count to Jordy Mercer. One out with the bases empty in the bottom of the second. Three and one. It's out of play. Been an interesting year in that way in terms of pitch usage, because as we recall, he opened the year in that first outing. We saw quite a bit of that changeup, and then he just put it in his back pocket, it seems, for almost every start since then.
Yeah, you're really right. That was against the Yankees, and I remember Chase Headley talking about it after the game, saying, well, all I saw was off speed all game between the slider and the changeup. But after that, he faced Toronto. He, of course, tried to overpower that, you know, primarily right-handed hitting powerful lineup with the fastball, the slider, and he has not looked back. And we thought last year that this was going to be the year that that changeup usage would increase a little bit, and instead he's almost cut it in half.
He's focused on that slider as the out pitch because it's been so effective. 3-2, and Mercer pops it up, foul ball, and right there Morrison takes care of that. So the pop-up foul off a slider. 2 up, 2 down. We'll face the catcher, Chris Stewart. Well, and you get back to the strikeouts there. There you are.
75% of them come on that pitch. And a big lead there, too, over Scherzer.
Ball 1 to Stewart. One and one. With the fastball in. Archer coming off Friday's outing against Baltimore, a 6-inning outing when he made 92 pitches through 54 strikes in that one. The Rays won big 15-5. 1-2. Stewart missing the slider by plenty right there. And that takes care of Stewart. Strikes him out, throws the fastball by him. We'll go to the third, top of the order. Souza, then Dickerson and Longoria due up for the Rays. Rays and the Pirates are scoreless. This event of the summer hits South Beach when baseball's biggest stars take the field for the MLB All-Star Game, July 11th, only on Fox. Well, the Rays anticipate seeing Corey Dickerson there. He tops the list among the contenders as the designated hitter. He's taken the lead there, and he'll hit second in the third. Steven Souza Jr. in the leadoff spot tonight. He takes the first pitch for a strike.
And it seemed like, you know, Corey Dickerson, I think the first round of voting when they first put the numbers out there was in 4th place. And then every single time they updated those numbers, he would go from 4th to 3rd to 2nd. Obviously overtaking earlier today.
And so a good finish is what he needs in the voting. Can vote until 11:59 p.m. tonight. Two strikes to Souza.
I think people around the country starting to pay attention a little bit. As you get closer and closer to the game, you really start to look, okay, who is, you know, popularity contest early. Still some of that here late.
Yeah, and I think the Rays are starting to get a little recognition too as they stay up, you know, 3rd place. They've been 2, 2.5, now 3 games out of 1st, and Dickerson's a big part of that. 1-2 chop to the right side, and with the pitcher Tyon covering, Souza is retired. It's a first out in the 3rd. And here is Corey Dickerson. He was out catcher first, his first time up. Pirates put the shift on, moving Mercer, Frazier, and Bell to the right side, leaving Harrison alone on the left side. Just down and in. Well, he leads the major leagues in hits with 103. Among the league leaders, you pick a spot, a category, and he's in there. 2-0.
When you see a lot of guys with a lot of hits, a nice batting average, but not much in the way of home runs, runs batted in, and down the line extra base hits. Corey Dickerson, he checks all of the boxes. One of the most well-rounded hitters in the game today.
3 consecutive multi-hit games. And that's the other thing about him, his consistency here in the first half. He's been there every day and performed at this high level.
I still don't think that he's had a back-to-back game where he's taken an offer. Hasn't taken many offers to begin with, number one. That's what we started to marvel about that, you know, 3 weeks into the season, and it has not slowed a bit. The approach is the same. He's like a robot out there.
And he draws the walk, so he'll head to first. Well, check him right here.
Oh, here we go. Tied for first in average. Of course, the hits are going to follow that, but look at this. Extra base hits, slugging percentage, sorry about that, multi-hit games, he gets it done. There's a lot of other stuff we could go to, but can only fit so much on a graphic, Dwayne, before it starts to become an eyesore.
Yep. So he's aboard here for Evan Longoria. Curveball in there for a strike. Longoria hit by a pitch his first time. Wound up at third. The Rays left men at first and third. Had a couple of men on in the second inning. Double play took care of that, and they left one aboard then. Oh, 2. Ground ball right side. Frazier's going to take it to first with Dickerson moving to second. And Longoria is out 4-3. Well, the Rays now for 3 consecutive innings have placed a man in scoring position.
And this is what hurt them last night. They had a lot of opportunities with runners in scoring position, could never get that big hit. I think they had 2, and one of them actually didn't even knock in a run. So it was a rough night in that category. The Rays obviously dropped that game.
Yeah, they left 11 men on base, went 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position last night. Now Logan Morrison. His base hit the first time up, extended his hitting streak to 10. And he takes a look at a first pitch curveball for a strike. That's a good pitch for Tyon, and he's used it a little bit more. That curveball.
It's got a sharp break to it and some good depth. Oh, there you go.
Doubles up on it. He's ahead in the count 0-2. The bouncing ball to first. Bell makes the play unassisted. The Rays leave their 4th base runner on. We're through 2.5. No score. Bottom of the third inning we go from Pittsburgh. Got a lot of Rays fans in for this series here in Pittsburgh. Fill your Sunday with baseball and country music. Watch the Rays take on the Red Sox Sunday, July 9th. And stay after the game for the post-game concert by American Idol finalist Lauren Elena. Be a part of the action by visiting RaysBaseball.com today. The pitcher is going to lead it off for the Pirates. First pitch hit on the ground to Echeverria. And his throw right there in time to get Jamison Taillon. So one pitch, one out. You know, Taillon was picked. He was the second pick in the country in that draft behind Bryce Harper. And at the time he was picked, high school pitchers 1 and 2. The odds of them distinguishing themselves in the major leagues, when you look back historically, not that good. At the time he was picked, I think from well, in the entirety of the draft, there had been 11 high school pitchers picked 1 or 2. Pitch is a strike to Frazier. J.R. Richard was one of them. He distinguished himself quite nicely. Bill Gullickson, and he pitched a long time in the major leagues with distinction. But not many.
You think about what you have to handle mentally being picked that high at such a young age. You know, you're going to still have the hunger and the drive, or you're going to rest on your laurels. And then on top of that, look how far you've got to go. You know, to be a pitcher at the high school level and then to be able to come up and consistently get big leaguers out, that is quite the journey that you're going to have to take to get there. I don't care how good your stuff is.
Yeah, Josh Beckett was one. So that probably those three in the history of the draft at the time Taillon was picked second, either picked first or second. Those are the three guys of the 11 who were picked that distinguished themselves in the major leagues. The others made it to the big leagues, spent some time, except 3 never made it at all. Ooh, a foul ball the other way down near the photographer's well. Count still 2-2. So that tells you as much research and observation and evaluation that goes into the draft. It is an inexact science. Now full count to Frazier. Josh Harrison on deck.
Well, think about how many rounds there are. Well, it used to be that the rounds were never limited. Now it's what, 60?
A fly ball down the left side into foul territory and over there just out of the reach of Dickerson. So Frazier is still alive up there.
30 teams, 60 rounds. That's 1,800 kids drafted every single year. Just to find a few that are going to make a difference at the big league level.
Yeah, and that's why when you think about the guys who get to the major leagues, how they've defied the odds to get there, it really is the best in the world that you're seeing. Without question, they've all beaten the odds. As talented as they are and as hard as they can work at trying to get there, it still requires that to give you any hope of beating the odds.
And it's, I guess it's 40 rounds now. There was a time that it was unlimited, now 40. But you're right. I mean, 1,200 kids drafted. Not everyone's going to sign. But let's say half sign. Let's just throw that number. 600 kids are coming into the game every year. But guess what that means? That means 600 kids or 600 have to leave the game. You know, because you're not building any more new affiliates. And so you talk about guys nipping at the heels and you know, really the challenge to not only get here, move up the ladder and get here, but then to stay here. Because every year there's a new crop that would love to take your job. That's why you get the best of the best.
This one headed toward the middle. Echeverria there, but cannot get in a position to get a throwaway. Well, he closed the gap up the middle, but Frazier has an infield hit.
Boy, so quick, explosive with his lateral movement, because this right here is a base hit that for most guys it's going to get into center field. Look at Echeverria close the ground. Never could have made a play there with Frazier from the left side running up the line, but just to get to that baseball, pretty impressive.
You know, you saw Archer turn around there, and you're so used to with a standard shortstop going, well, that's up the middle and that's a base hit. But he had to pause and think he might be able to make a play on that. He got there, and we're going to see more and more of that from him. That's why this is such a key addition to this team, to limit opposing base runners. There's a strike to Josh Harrison.
You know, and then the feel for the position, knowing where to be on cuts. You know, we talk about in Boston, knowing with that low wall out there to peel back and be ready for a carom to keep a guy at first base. All of those the little nuances of the position that he's so very good at.
1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the Rays trying to upgrade a couple of key spots. They've done that at short, and with Ramos now healthy and active, those are 2 key positions that over time should elevate the quality of play of this team. And to have those guys available for the second half on a daily basis, that's very significant. Well, as close as the East has been through the first, this is the 81st game, so really through the first half, and to have those 2 positions manned the way the Rays can now, well, the second half should be a lot of fun. Runner goes, a line drive over the head of Beckham into center. Frazier's going to go to third. Souza with the throw back to second. First and third now, and the Pirates have their second threat of the game.
I don't know if that was a straight hit and run, but perfectly executed. That fastball out over the plate. Runner in motion. A good swing there by Harrison. Frazier just continues on to third base, and now with 1 out, the Pirates threaten.
Harrison on for the second time. And a major challenge here with McCutchen coming up. McCutchen singled his first time. Last 18 games coming into this one, he'd hit over 400. McCutchen came into the game at 270. Over 370 for the month. And a good pitch there. 96 on the outside corner for a strike. That's a strike. 0-2. Well, you see the first 45, he struggled to get to 200, but in the last 31, 380.
He has absolutely gone off over the last month. And on base percentage, how about that? 473 slug.
Line drive, and it's over Beckham's head into center for a base hit. Frazier scores, and it's 1-0 Pittsburgh.
You know, I thought that the first at bat McCutchen had, where he stayed up the middle and stayed back really well on the slider, was impressive. This one even more so, because this slider's even better. But just with a flick of the wrists, he's able to shoot that ball out there into right center field. Well, that's an A slider there. by Chris Archer. He is so used to guys swinging and missing at that. And look at how McCutchen just goes out there and sweeps that ball out into right center field. What a job on 2 sliders here early in this game. McCutchen with 2 hits. That one driving in a run.
2 on for Josh Bell. First pitch fastball, strike 1. One ball, 1 strike. Archer wants a new baseball. Doesn't like the feel of that one. And that can make a difference.
You know, and that pitch actually got into the dirt too. And that dirt around home plate can be pretty rough and scuff up the baseball. Some guys, they want to keep that baseball to get some extra movement. And some guys would rather not have it. Yeah, you've got to be happy with the feel of a baseball. There's no doubt.
Ground ball second. Out there. Echeverria's throw to first in time. Beckham, Echeverria to Morrison on the double play ball. A run scores for the Pirates, the only one in this game. Rays baseball on Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers. By Jeep, get great deals at the Jeep Spring Clearance Event. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Looking at the Roberto Clemente Bridge across the Allegheny River, one of 446 bridges in the city of Pittsburgh. Here's Tim Beckham going after the first pitch, and he has himself a base hit, making the turn at first and holding there. And the Rays have the leadoff man on. They've had runners now in each of the first 4 innings, and Beckham is aboard.
Well, you got to finish the deal at some point. You want to win some ball games, and right there, Tim Beckham going right after that first pitch curveball by Tyon. I'm sure Jameson thinking he's going to get out ahead of him. 0-1 with that pitch. Instead, Beckham had other ideas, and here go the Rays again.
Sean Peterson doubled on the first pitch his first time. Goes after a first pitch fastball and fouls it back. Strike 1. Peterson with 2 home runs in his time up with the Rays. He hit 10 at Durham. Beckham back in at first. There's a strike. 0-2. Fly ball, short center, straight in comes McCutchen in a hurry, and he makes the catch. There'll be a throw back to first, and Beckham gets back in ahead of that toss.
Too much hang time. That's all there was there. You give McCutchen that kind of hang time, he's going to be able to close and make that play. There he comes. Gets the read. A little bit greedy there too, trying to get a twofer.
Beckham at first with one away. Here's Echeverria reaching on the infield single in the second inning. Fastball, and he takes that one for a strike. Now 1-1. Beckham back in. And again, a move to first. On keeping an eye on Beckham. 3 steals and no caught stealings with Tyon on the hill this year, and that had been an issue for him. Holding runners.
He has sped up his delivery to home plate.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, and the throw down skips away into shallow center, and Beckham has stolen his 5th base of the year.
Well, sometimes you got to pick the right pitch to go on, and we've seen a slide step out of Tyon. That's one way he's tried to combat the stolen base. That one right there, though, he went with a little modified leg kick, and that one does take a little bit more time. On top of that, it was a breaking ball, and so Beckham had that base stolen with a good jump. Chris Stewart's throw a little bit off too. A lot of bit off.
Now 1-2. Ground ball to short. Throw to third, and Beckham runs into the out there. Mercer to Harrison to cut down Beckham. Well, you hate to lose that base run.
You absolutely do, and that's where you've got to read that ball a little bit better. It was sharply hit. When it's sharply hit out in front of you, you don't go. You just don't go, because you are absolutely going to be dead meat. There it is, out in front and sharply hit. You're just running yourself right into an out and giving that one away, and at that point Tim Beckham already knows it. A slow roller, yes. A hard hit ball in front of you, you cannot go right there.
Here's Jesus Sucre. Curveball in for strike 1 to Sucre.
Now, that's another reason why, you know, when you're on first base, second base, no matter where you are, is to check every pitch. Where are the, where are the infielders at? Know where they are, and then you got to read the ball off the bat.
Yeah, the Rays, it's a foul ball. Rays worked hard after that base hit by Beckham to get him into scoring position. He stole the base. And now you're back to 2 outs with a man at first. Two strikes on Sucre. You know, and here's a case as the Rays play in the National League Park where the number 8 hitter becomes important even if he doesn't produce a run, just to get on base. Yep. Get the pitcher up here and not have him lead off the next inning.
Well, we saw Archer strike out Chris Stewart to end the 2nd inning, and then you get Taillon to lead off in the 3rd. It sets you up for a much easier inning, and you're absolutely right. That's how you manage a lineup in the National League.
And a liner caught by Frazier. So Archer will lead off the next inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Pittsburgh. Moment took place right here, September of '98, when Orestes Destrada hit his first big league home run here, connecting off Steve Bedrosian. And there's Orestes remembering that.
Holy cow. Only 30 years ago, Dwayne, don't want to admit it, but it's true. It was 1988. Steve Bedrosian, I was proud to hit my first home run. And what I do remember about that year and being there, number one, I locked it in between Barry Bonds and Bobby Bonilla, the two up-and-coming superstars. You know, Barry Bonds, the greatest player I had ever physically seen play in between the lines, and that is coming from, you know, the Yankees of Dave Winfield and Rickey Henderson. I still thought he was the greatest player I'd ever seen play. And then number two, just getting a chance to play in the big leagues, and how different a stadium we're talking about. Three Rivers. You of all people, Dwayne, you've been to all the stadiums. That was, you know, the era of the cookie cutter stadium, and that sucker was as hard as can be. You could just bounce the ball completely over my head on that AstroTurf.
Yeah, and you know, the texture of that turf was a little different than the conventional AstroTurf as well. It had a consistency almost of short carpet.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Yeah, some of the worst turf. You know, you think about the Vet in Philly, and you think about Three Rivers, and you think about Riverfront, and those were some of the. And in the summertime, I can remember pitching, you know, in Pittsburgh and in Cincinnati on that turf. And in the middle of the summer, I'd have to change my uniform halfway through the game.
Here's Jaso hitting one deep into right center field, and that ball's going to get out of here. Jaso connects for his 6th home run, a leadoff home run in the 4th, and that's going to make it a 2-0 ball game, Pittsburgh. So the former Ray, John Jaso, comes back to hurt the Rays tonight with a leadoff 4th-inning home run.
Well, that was a backdoor slider that didn't have a lot of depth. It stayed flat, and John Jaso was all over it, able to lengthen out that swing, get some good plate coverage, and drive it out deep into center field.
And here's Polanco. That's the 10th home run of the year given up by Archer. And it's fouled back. Yeah, that's one of the pitches Archer would like to take back. That slider right out there, more or less on a tee for Jaso. He hit it into the seats in right center. A little roller to the right side, charged by Beckham, and the glove toss. Polanco is out of there. Well, as we go down memory lane, let's go back down to Arestas for a moment.
Yeah, and I think, guys, you would agree. If you were talking about the hard turf, one of the things that I would say is that when they get in the middle of the summer, talk about changing uniforms. You would have to literally, sometimes I'd go out there in turf shoes and then come back and hit with spikes, because if you went out with your spikes, it would burn you right through. I mean, they didn't have as much great padding as they have now. BA, you probably can remember that, man, and I'm telling you, it was just no fun on how hard it is. Now I understand the likes of the Andre Dawson, some other guys that played at the O in Montreal and in St. Louis, that they had so many knee injuries because of the fact that it was just a pounding that you took on your body.
Yeah, Arestas, I can remember talking to the trainers in Kansas City before they actually put in the grass when they had that old turf, and they said that guys with their plastic spikes in between innings would sit or stand in little troughs of ice water to try to keep their feet from blistering up during these games, because it was so hot down there, like you were talking about.
Yeah, they've come a long way, guys, to what Three Rivers was, to this beautiful, I know you guys have described it beautifully, and even the growth of downtown Pittsburgh and this title town that it's become, and multiple titles in football, and obviously in hockey.
Yeah, Mercer pops this one up, and Echeverria's out there to take care of that. 2 gone.
I think they just took another one of those home about a week ago. I mean, the Pittsburgh Penguins. I get to go watch the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the crud out of the Browns every year, twice a year. Get tired of that.
Twice a year.
Twice a year. You sit through that.
Twice a year. Twice a year. Home and away.
Yes. How about all the teams here too? The Pirates, the Steelers, the Penguins, all black and gold. You don't see that very often either. All 3 professional teams here in the city sharing the same colors.
Now Stewart lines one into left field. Dickerson closes, gets there and grabs it on the run. Little slide after the catch, and that will retire the side. Nice play in left by Dickerson. Take another look at that catch as we close out the 4th inning. 2-0 Pittsburgh. we go to the 5th inning. Let's Rays baseball for a retro price with the new Rays Flex Pack. Save up to 60% off the single game ticket price and get 5 lower level tickets for $75. Get a Rays retro hat with each pack purchased. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit raysbaseball.com/flex. Rays up. Rays are up here in the 5th. Chris Archer leads it off. And he tries to bunt and bunts it foul. Strike one. Archer was not wasting any time trying to lay down that bunt and get out of the batter's box as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and I like the fact that he did it that way instead of trying to read, is it fair, is it foul? They'll call you back if it's foul. You get on your way. Did take a peek back right there. The helmet almost popped off.
0-2.
Chris Archer may need to go up one size in the helmet, but he does look very hitterish with the white gloves and the ankle guard, Dwayne. He's got the Longoria ankle guard on that left leg. Obviously, that's the landing leg. You don't need to be popping foul balls off that ankle or that foot.
It's a little wide. It cannot in any way, shape, or form be comfortable for an American League pitcher to go into a National League park and then face Major League pitching.
Why do you say that?
And there's a strike on the outside corner. One away.
Listen, sometimes it's not very comfortable for a National League pitcher to get into the box against a National League team in a National League city. I tell you, that was one of the highlights of my career, was getting a chance to play in the National League, and I got to do it for 5 seasons and get to face, you know, Kevin Brown, Kerry Wood, seeing what 98, 99 looks like when you think you can hit it and you're so far late, and then just see what these hitters have to deal with day in and day out. Not to mention, they're going to see a lot better and more advanced sequencing than a guy like I'm going to see. You know, I'm going to see a lot of heaters. They may throw me a wrinkle every now and then, but these guys, slider, fastball in, change up, split. Good luck. Tells you how good these hitters really are.
Suzu 0 for 2 against Tyon tonight. It's a ball and a strike. That's foul into the seats beyond the dugout. Chris Archer and Jamison Tyon, the pitching matchup in the wrap-up game of the series in Pittsburgh. Rays have threatened in the first 4 innings. In fact, they've had men in scoring position in each one of those frames, but they've left 5 men on base. It's a line drive right at the shortstop Mercer. Two up and 2 down. Hard hit line drive. And Corey Dickerson's on his way to the plate. So remember, this is your last day to vote Rays for the 2017 All-Stars with the Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. Vote at raysbaseball.com/vote. And be sure and catch all the excitement of the 88th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 11th live on Fox. Ground ball to the right side. Frazier in the hole over there makes the pickup and the throw. Bottom of the 5th inning coming up. 2-0 Pittsburgh. Unlimited baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile, and the Cleveland Indians in first place in the AL Central. They've had a great June from Corey Kluber, 4-0 with a 1.26 ERA. And over in the National League, the Rockies have fallen upon tough times. Rockies in the middle of the NL West race, but they dropped 8 in a row. Well, they had built such a great record over there. They're still coming into play today, still 13 games over 500 after losing 8 in a row.
That's pretty incredible. But you saw the big number. Why? One of the big numbers, that starter's ERA over, a week plus stretch over 10. That puts you in an immediate hole.
This year has been a strange year when you look at the number of teams that at times have been just decimated, and then they've recovered, they've come back. Minnesota's a good example of that, and well, Kansas City.
Yeah.
And you see there's the National League West there. Tyone's out on 3 pitches to begin the 5th inning. We've seen that happen to a lot of teams, and we talked about it the other night. I guess that's in the name of parity of some sort. So who knows what the second half is going to hold?
That's the thing. It's tough to really, to say. Who would have guessed it would have been like this the first
Well,
half?
that's what we were talking about earlier. The Rays have attempted to position themselves. They've got themselves here running 3rd in the AL East, 3 games back. And they've attempted to position themselves maybe to make a move by shoring up shortstop, shoring up behind the plate, getting Ramos healthy and in the lineup.
I love that they're being proactive too. With the Echeverria deal. That you could have really sat back with what Tim Beckham was doing out there and not done a thing, and no one would have said anything. Wasn't like that was a glaring need, but it's a way to upgrade, and you're being proactive because you feel like, the way the American League stacks up, got a chance at this.
Morrison, he beats Frazier in there for the out, so strike out and a ground out, 2 up, 2 down.
Well, then how about you get Boxberger back?
Yep.
He can be another
active
bridge. Yeah. I mean,
and that's what the Rays really at this point need, that bridge from the starting pitcher to Colomé. And if they can do that, they've shored up a couple of spots defensively.
Yeah, too often that bridge has looked like one of those bridges in an Indiana Jones movie where you step through and it crashes. You just don't know. You don't trust from step to step, and still looking for that right combo, and maybe Brad Boxberger is going to be a big part of that.
No, Boxberger had said he's looking forward to pitching in those tough situations. Danny Farquhar designated for assignment. Boxberger activated. There's a base hit the other way. Harrison is on for the 3rd straight time. After being hit by a pitch in the 1st, he has singles in the 3rd and now in the 5th.
Well, and this is where you got to keep your eye on him, because now with 2 outs, wanting to get in scoring position here for McCutchen. Nice job of hitting that ball the other way, and he has been the most active guy for the Pirates on the bases.
The Pirates' percentage of stolen bases versus caught stealings not good, but they do have, coming into this game, 35 steals. They've been caught 24 times, so that's really a negative in the running game for them. But Harrison comes in 9 of 13, so he's the guy to keep your eye on when he gets on base. McCutchen fouls it. Strike 1. Archer goes over there to keep an eye on Harrison.
The first pitch, the first delivery for Archer to home plate, you could see Harrison trying to time him up, and he actually got a little false, really good jump. And so you see Chris Archer now starting to pay a little bit more attention. Look how he's moving out there very aggressively. Ah, he was going, baby.
And he gets back in there.
You see that?
Yeah.
He thought he had him timed up after the first pitch, and now going to try to make something happen.
You saw that flinch over there, and then getting back into first.
Yep, and you go wide. You go to that back corner. Force the first baseman to have to make a long sweep for the tag. See him peeking in right there at home plate too, maybe trying to catch what pitch they're going to go with. Off speed, more apt to maybe run that.
There's one shot into right field. Peterson will have to go back and play it off the wall. Picks up the carom. Here comes Harrison rounding third and putting on the brakes. He had an idea that he might try to score. Peterson actually played that on the bare hand.
You're absolutely right, Dwayne. That was all about Shane Peterson and how he was going to play the ball off the wall. He doesn't play it properly. Harrison's going to score. But you're right. He went back there. No way you're going to be able to catch this. This ball struck well, very hard. But how you play this carom is going to matter. And you go bare hand, you spin and get it in. Great observation by you, because if he doesn't do that, Harrison has got a chance to add to this lead.
Second and third now with 2 outs, and here's Josh Bell. He has struck out and grounded into a double play. Pitch up and away. Pirates got a run in the third, driven in by McCutchen. Got a run in the fourth, the leadoff home run by Jaso. Now a 2-out threat. Boy, this is a key spot in this game. It's a 2-run game now, but 2 men are in scoring position. That's pop foul, back and out of play. 1-1. Upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Cutting a miss. Now it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Liner into left. Dickerson over there for it. Makes the catch. Pirates threaten, but they leave 2 in scoring position. We'll go to the 6th. 2-0 Pittsburgh. The Rays and the Pirates hooked up in this one. Jamison Taillon pitching for Pittsburgh, the 25-year-old right-hander. The Rays had some opportunities early, but he's made some great pitches and has limited the Rays to no runs on 4 hits, while Andrew McCutchen touched Archer for an RBI single in the 3rd, scoring Adam Frazier. And then the former Ray, John Jaso, connected for a leadoff home run in the 4th inning on a slider that was right there for him. And so it's 2-0 as we go to the 6th inning, Pittsburgh leading. Rays will have Evan Longoria leading off here against Taillon. Taillon born in Lakeland, but he grew up in the Woodlands just north of Houston. Went to high school there. Little tap halfway to the mound. Taillon's pickup and the throw, and Longoria is the first out in the 6th inning. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Well, that's a big out for the Pirate right-hander. Here's Logan Morrison.
Well, now as he was moving through the lineup for the 3rd time, that was a first pitch changeup there to Evan Longoria. And so that's a pitch to keep an eye on. We've seen mostly the 4-seam, 2-seam curveball. On the changeup.
Yep, and I'll tell you, that's a great pitch to have in reserve, and that's exactly what he's done.
That's what you're going to find with Chris Archer as he moves through his career, especially if the velocity starts to come down a little bit. He's going to need that 3rd pitch because it is so valuable.
Ground ball up the middle, and that gets through. A base hit for Morrison. He's 2 for 3 tonight.
Well placed. Didn't hit it hard, but didn't have to with where he put it.
Well, let's see if the Rays can do anything here in the 6th inning after putting together threats in each of the first 4. Taillon had a 1-2-3 5th inning. A short inning there, just 10 pitches. They pushed him a little bit in the 1st. He made over 20 pitches, 22 in that inning, and left men at 1st and 3rd. And here's Beckham, who's 1 for 2, struck out to end the 1st, then singled in the 4th inning. Strike 1 on the foul ball. Beckham stole a base in the 4th and then was caught trying to advance to 3rd base on a ground ball to the shortstop. Foul the other way. That's out of play. 0-2. So Beckham way down in the count here against the Pittsburgh right-hander. Ball, 2 strikes. Taillon working here in the 6th. He worked 6 innings in his last outing. That was on the road against the Cardinals in St. Louis. And Beckham did go after that one and is out on strike, says Paul Emmel.
Well, it's been the fastball and the curveball. Now here in the 6th inning, the fastball and the changeup, and that's what he got Tim Beckham with right here. There's that changeup, kind of buries itself out over the plate and a little bit too far on the swing.
4th strikeout for the Pirate right-hander. Here's Shane Peterson. Well, the Rays need a lightning strike here. Down 2-0. Peterson 1 for 2. Peterson 245 on the year. And there's a ground ball. It's picked up by Frazier from short right. A bad throw that gets by the first baseman. Stewart backs it up. Boy, that's quite a pickup by Frazier. But the throw was off target. Morrison goes to second, and Peterson has a base hit.
Well, a couple of well-placed ground balls here for the Rays in the 6th inning has given them a 2-out opportunity. Josh Bell's not going to be able to do anything here, and Frazier ranging far to his left, able to get a glove on it, and then you get a little contact at first base there.
So 2 on with 2 out. Echeverria will be at the plate. He picked up an infield hit in the 2nd. And he is out in front of the changeup.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he's really brought that out here. The Rays, you know, obviously looking fastball, curveball, and he's introduced the changeup here in the 6th in a big way, and he's had success with it. That one even hung and got away with.
Ground ball to third, picked up by Harrison, who steps on the bag, and the Rays are finished, leaving 2 in the 6th. They trail 2-0. On Fox Sports Sun, brought to you by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers and by Jeep. Get great deals at the Jeep Spring Clearance Event. Rays in Pittsburgh tonight, wrapping up this 3-game interleague series, and they're down by a couple runs moving into the bottom of the 6th. Chris Archer against Jamison Taillon, the pitching matchup. Pittsburgh scored a run in the 3rd. McCutcheon's base hit drove in Adam Frazier. Jaso hit a leadoff home run in the 4th. So Archer's given up 7 hits, 2 runs with 4 strikeouts. And John Jaso enjoying the in-game music and provided some music for the Pittsburgh fans with that blast.
Took advantage of a breaking ball that hung a little bit.
Swings and misses, strike 1.
Good changeup right there to John Jaso. So Chris Archer now decides to come out with the changeup. That was a good one.
Well, he's working his way through the lineup for the 3rd time, and we saw how effective that was for Taillon.
There you go.
So
back
let's
to
do
back.
it again.
Yeah. Hey, why not? third and fourth time through have given Chris Archer trouble, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he is primarily a two-pitch pitcher. You start to fatigue third and fourth time through, and so the pitches aren't as sharp, and the hitter, you know, has seen them all game long. So that's where the changeup becomes very effective, or can if you use it.
Yep. 1-2 the count. And a foul tip strikeout. Got him with that fastball. That went upper 90s.
And that changeup too will cause that 98 right there to look like it's about 100, 101. Boy, he jumped on that one. Maybe the best fastball velocity of the night. See how late he was.
Gregory Polanco. One ball, no strikes, but a little bit of a slide for Polanco. He's hit under 190 for the month of June. A couple of ground ball outs handled by Beckham at second tonight. Fouled away. 1-1. Up and away. Now 2-1. Rays dropped last night's game 6-2, missing a lot of opportunities to score runs after winning the first game in 10 innings, 4-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count to Polanco. Take the count full. Got a couple of hit batters in this game and just 1 walk so far, drawn by Dickerson in the third. Now a 3-2 count for Archer against Polanco. Fouls it. We'll see another 3-2 pitch. Fourth time Archer's gone to 3-2 on a hitter. Struck out Bell in the first. You got Mercer on a pop foul in the second inning. Gave up an infield hit to Frazier in the third. Now 3-2 to Polanco. And he fouls another pitch back. It's going to be at least an 8-pitch at bat here for Polanco as Archer starts to close in on 100 pitches. And a shot back into right field. Peterson will run out of room, and this one is out of here. Archer gives up the home run, number 6 to Polanco, and it's 3-0 Pittsburgh.
Yeah, there was a slider that Polanco put a really good swing on to foul off in this at bat, and he was starting to get on that pitch. Got another one right there, almost in the same spot, did not miss it. Boy, oh boy, did he put a charge into that, and Chris Archer not very thrilled, as you could see.
Mercer hitting it on the ground to third, picked up by Longoria. So that's going to be out number 2 on the heels of the home run. So 2 home runs given up by Archer tonight. Archer gave up 3 home runs in an outing against the Orioles in Baltimore at the end of April, and 2 home runs to the White Sox in his first start in May. So this is the 3rd time this year he's given up multiple home runs in an outing.
Something that he's actually done a better job of this year, controlling that long ball as opposed to the 30 that he gave up a year ago. Just 9 coming in. And if you can keep them to solos too, those are the ones they'd say, you know, they don't really hurt you. But in a game like this, enough solo shots start to add up.
1-1 the count on Stewart.
You could see that though, that Polanco on that previous pitch when he fouled off the slider, he was right on it, and you think to yourself, boy, you may want to go away from that pitch here or at least move it to a different spot, and that didn't happen.
Fly ball into right. Peterson toward the line is there waiting, and that retires the side, but they get a run on the home run by Polanco, and we'll go to the 7th. It's now 3-0 Pittsburgh. Pirates lead the Rays. Red Sox come to town for the first time this year to play the Rays. That'll be next weekend. And all kids 14 and under July 9th receive a Rays toy truck presented by W.B. Mason while supplies last. Be a part of the action. Be a part of the fun. Visit RaysBaseball.com today. Rays wrapping up their visit to Pittsburgh. It's a beautiful night. The weather's been picture perfect here for the Rays stay. Now let's see what the Rays can do here in the last 3 innings, down 3-0. Jesus Sucre takes the pitch, and it's upstairs. A ball, no strikes. Sucre 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play and has lined to second. Alex Smith out on deck. Two and one to count. Two.
Keep seeing that changeup, more and more of it. That third option for Taillon.
Well, he's been good, and look at the pitch count, how efficient he's been after that first inning.
Well, the first pitch strike, you know, Ivan Nova struggled with that last night, was in a lot of trouble. And obviously Taillon was, you know, he was out of in some trouble there early on, but his first pitch strike percentage tonight is off the charts. Take that every game.
This one is down 3-2. Well, it'll be only 25. He has a great presence out there. This one lined into center, and that's going to drop and skip by McCutchen. Jasil will go get it. It's going to be a double for Sucre, and the Rays put the leadoff man on here in the 7th inning.
And a little bit surprised that McCutchen dove for that. That ball looked like it was destined to get down. And unless you know you can get there, you just play that ball off the hop. You keep Sucre at first base, keep the double play in order. You've got a 3-run lead, and McCutchen a little bit over aggressive right there. And the dive is what allowed Sucre obviously to get to second base. And see, he's well short of that, a couple feet. Can understand, you know, he plays all out. You understand the aggressiveness, but I think the smarter play there. Easy to say that now, but that's what you were thinking off the bat. Like
Alex Smith pinch hitting. He is the pinch hitter for the Rays here, trying to add to this leadoff double. 1-1 to count. Two balls and a strike. Well, the Rays with 7 hits, trying to put something together. Smith takes ball 3.
Might get yourself in trouble here with the potential walk, and Taillon gives up that double to Sucre. Behind here, Malik Smith. He's about to see Souza Jr. Dickerson 4th time through. Wonder how much longer they're going to stick with Jameson.
And Smith trying to coax the walk there, and Taillon gets a call just on the very edge of that strike zone. Watson up in the bullpen for Pittsburgh now. 3-2 is fouled the other way, out of play. Well, this turns out to be a big pitch here with a man at second. Smith trying to get aboard to see what the top of the lineup can do. Souza Jr. is on deck. Dickerson following him, and then down to Longoria.
You got power coming up.
And there is ball 4. So the Rays put the first 2 men on. Nice at bat by Smith to draw that walk. And the Rays put the first 2 men on base for the first time since the 2nd inning.
And this was off. He's trying to attack him out there with the fastball, but he misses. And now you bring the tying run to the plate, and you've got power all over the place. And Ray Searage is going to go out and have a talk with Taillon.
Well, 97 pitches right now for the young right-hander. There's 2 hitters into the 7th. He worked 6 innings against the Cardinals, 5 in each of the other 2 starts against the Rockies and the Cubs since coming off the disabled list. Don't forget, here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. The Rays move into Baltimore to open a series there. Jake Faria on the hill. We'll hear from him, and Orestes will break down the Orioles third baseman Manny Machado. It was Bryce Harper, Jamison Taillon, and Manny Machado in that draft. 1, 2, 3.
Not too shabby.
And now Souza Jr. takes the first pitch from Taillon inside. Fastball 96. Still got the velocity there.
The velocity is there. The first pitch strikes are not. And he's starting to get himself into some trouble.
And a hot shot foul pulled into the seats. 1-1. Souza's popped to first, grounded to first, and lined to the shortstop. Ball 2 is inside. Now 2-1. On deck, Corey Dickerson. Foul the other way, out of play, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And another foul ball. Souza Jr. will see another 2-2 pitch. There's a liner into left field. It's going to stay up. However, Jaso gets there and makes the catch. Hot off the bat, but Jaso made the catch.
Nothing you can do about that. You know, as a hitter, you're battling up there against a tough pitcher, and you're just trying to hit the ball hard, and that's exactly what Souza Jr. did, and that was the only place that he could have hit it and not gotten a good result.
Clint Hurdle comes to get the young right-hander. Back in a moment.
Taillon lived up to the hype here in tonight's ball game. The Rays did have him in some trouble early in the game, but he was able to pitch his way out of it, mixing that fastball with the curveball as the game would go along. He started to mix in the changeup. They're getting a big strikeout of Tim Beckham before exiting this game. He is responsible for the 2 base runners that are on, but overall a very impressive night here for the young right-hander for the Pirates.
So 103 pitches for Tyon. He leaves with Smith at first and Sucre at second base. Corey Dickerson will be the hitter. Interesting matchup here, lefty on lefty. Watson in to face Dickerson, who's hitting .340 against lefties this year. And lefties have hit Watson at a .327 clip.
The double negative. I think that's what they're going for here.
And that usually makes a positive, if I remember correctly.
It does.
There you go.
It absolutely does as we brush up on our math.
So let's see if that holds true here. Rays certainly hope so. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Dickerson walked in the third. Tied for the league lead and hitting coming in. To the count.
When you see where he was able to spot the fastball and then sweep that breaking ball, how do they hit .340 off of him? Please explain that.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, because it's not like he doesn't have the velocity, and then 86. Look, it just doesn't stop moving away.
Watson in the game last night. Pitched 1 inning, gave up a couple hits, no runs. And he strikes out Dickerson, came back in and got him.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I don't think that we've seen a pitcher put together a sequence against Corey Dickerson like that all season long.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm thinking exactly the same thing. Watson, very impressive. Starts in, goes away, and finishes in.
Yeah, fastball down and in, strike one. Yeah, and then he climbs the ladder there. Corey Dickerson's so good at fouling those pitches off.
Now here's Evan Longoria. He pops it up. Bell at first is there to make the catch. The Rays threaten but lead 2. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 3-0 Pittsburgh. Seven. Pirates lead 3-0, and Chris Archer departs after 6.
Well, he got pinch hit for by Malik Smith, and in the 6 innings he made some good pitches. He rung up some strikeouts, didn't hurt himself with the walk, but here tonight it was the home runs, the solo homers, hanging breaking ball here, and John Jaso able to get out and around it, and then Gregory Polanco, boy, he got a slider moving down and in, had put a good swing on one earlier in the at-bat, and he caught that one flush, much to the chagrin of Chris Archer.
As we go to the 7th, Chase Whitley will make his 24th appearance of the year for the Rays, and with an earned run average of 3 and 2 wins and a loss.
Done a nice job of holding opponents to a 183 average in his 33 innings, and extremely important here for the Rays bullpen to step up and shut this Pirate team down and keep this deficit at 3 runs if they have any hope of trying to claw their way back.
Well, the number 9 spot is due up. The lefty Watson is in that spot, and Osuna will pinch hit for him. Jose Osuna. That will begin the bottom of the 7th for Pittsburgh. And there's a strike on that outside part, a little expanded. Casio in the bullpen for Pittsburgh now. Ground ball short, backhanded. Echeverria's throw is right there on the money. Nice little play by Echeverria to get Osuna.
Getting to show off a little bit of that arm strength after the backhand. He does a nice job of really staying on top of the baseball and much like a pitcher, driving it to its spot. See how he drives that ball over there to Logan Morrison. Not going to get a whole lot of arm side run, and that's what you want.
Now Frazier.
Are we going to break down every single ground ball that he makes a play on? Because that felt a little bit overkill to me.
Yep.
That felt like a little bit overboard. You know what I mean? We get it. We're excited about watching him play shortstop, no doubt about it. But I don't think I should have. You know, it just felt a little overkill.
You made it relevant.
I tried, but that's what I think. You can't try. It just has to come to you, Dwayne. The game has to come to us. We can't go try to force the game. It doesn't work, and that didn't work.
I don't know. I think under certain circumstances it could.
Well, listen.
Happy to have a guy here who can play a shortstop like he can, and there aren't very many people who can play shortstop the way he can. 1-2 the count. In fact, I think that drives home the point that Echeverria plays shortstop as if he was born to play shortstop. He owns that position. Dickerson back and left to make the catch. Frazier's out of there. And if you want a really great play, then we'll go back and take a look at that.
You know, and the thing about this play that really stands out, not only getting to it, watch how quickly he gets to his feet. Yeah, that's impressive. But watch, I mean, up to his feet and into the throwing position in the blink of an eye. That's what really jumps out. By the way, a nice 2-hop scoop, too, by Logan Morrison to finish that play off. But I think the reaction of Alex Cobb said everything about that play.
Harrison fouling away the first pitch. He's been on 3 times tonight. Hit by a pitch in the first and then singles in the 3rd and 5th innings. He was on 3 times in the first game of this series. So officially 2 for 2 tonight.
Oh,
and he's hit by that pitch. Hit again. And he takes off for first.
A lot of oohs and ahs from the crowd, but that was a changeup. Changeup that just took off on Chase Whitley. 81 miles an hour. You can see the grip and just doesn't get through it. Although that's still 81 miles an hour in about the same spot that he got hit last time. That is not fun at all.
But that's 18 times he's been hit by a pitch.
That's remarkable because that was a changeup. That shouldn't have been anywhere near him. He's got a magnet somewhere in that jersey. Smile about it.
There's Andrew McCutchen. He has a 3-for-3 night going. Pitch a little bit wide, 1-0. To McCutchen. Runner takes off. The pitch is a ball. Throw down. Going to skip through into center field. Backed up by Souza Jr. So Harrison steals his 10th base of the year.
Well, similar situation to earlier in the game. 2 outs and he's over there at first base. Finally he does go. He got a great jump. 9 out of 13 coming in, now 10 out of 14. Didn't immediately recognize where that ball went, I don't think.
Now watch Beckham. A little shadow ball there. The ball's gone. He's tagging him.
Keep him at second base.
Yeah.
It's a smart move. Apparently I'm 14 again.
Two-0 pitch, ball 3. So hit batter and a stolen base. Josh Bell on deck. And McCutchen is on for the 4th time. His first walk given up by Rays pitching tonight. And with 2 outs, 2 men aboard now for Josh Bell to hit against Chase Whitley. Bell 0 for 3. Strikeout, a ground ball double play, and then a line to left for Bell tonight. And the pitch is low. Laid off the change. Rays with 2 shots left and they're down by 3. Trying to keep the Pirates right where they are. Adam Kolarek up in the bullpen. He's added a couple of days ago. There's a base hit into right field. Harrison being waved to the plate. He will score. And that makes it a 4-run ball game. McCutchen stops at second. Bell driving in the run. Base hit to right. John Jaso is due up. Kevin Cash heads to the mound. So with 2 men out, this started with the hit batter. A steal, then the walk. And the base hit by Bell. And the Rays will make a pitching change in what is now a 4-run game.
On Fox Sports Sun, we are in the 7th inning, and the Pirates lead the Rays 4-0. In his 8th season of playing professional baseball, 28-year-old Adam Kolarek finally got the call to the big leagues. He got the news late Tuesday night. Kevin Cash says Kolarek's story shows how hard work pays off, and the Rays skipper is excited for the lefty to finally get his opportunity.
Well, that opportunity comes now. At Durham, 1-4, but a 136 earned run average in 31 appearances. So the 28-year-old lefty makes his major league debut. And he will face John Jaso.
A little bit of a sidewinder. That lower arm angle give you a different look.
Runners take off, throw down to third and out there. So he makes one pitch and gets the caught stealing of McCutchen down at third base to retire the side. That is the height of efficiency right there in Kolarek's major league debut.
Wow.
Tampa Bay Rays baseball presented by Jeep. Well, the Rays down. It's a 4-0 ball game. Adam Kolarek got into the game, made his major league debut, threw a strike, and the caught stealing ended the inning.
Listen, here he comes. Little did he know. There's your pitch. Runners off. Nice throw down there by Sucre. How about that? Didn't even have to go look for it. Didn't get the fake one. One pitch. Kind of like that arm angle, though. Gives the Rays that different look coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, the idea, if he can do that with command, boy, he could stick around for a long time.
We've seen that, you build bullpens on power arms or interesting arm angles.
Nicasio is going to be the new pitcher, making his 38th appearance. Juan Nicasio. He pitched an inning on Tuesday and an inning last night. So 2/3 of an inning for Watson. And there's a strike to Logan Morrison. Morrison, Beckham, and Peterson due up in the inning for the Rays.
I'm starting to feel like the Pirates have a 3-man bullpen, and it's Hudson, Nicasio, and Rivera.
Yeah,
that's it.
And
That's all
Watson.
the Rays see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Watson.
Watson
sneaks in there from the left side. Got to have a lefty. Well, Rivera too, but he throws 101. So yeah, 4-man bullpen.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Now the Rays have had some opportunities, as they did last night. Let's take a look at this backswing, and boy, that's some tough contact there on Stewart. Here's Stewart. Pirates catcher says he's okay. Take a shot like that, you don't know if you can believe him or not.
Listen, the head injuries nowadays, everybody's very uber sensitive about anything up there, and he got clipped pretty good.
Morrison takes a pitch down. 2-2. Ocasio ended 97 with that delivery. Cut and a miss. Morrison out number 1 in the 8th against Ocasio.
High levels, working him down, and then all of a sudden popping this last one with good velocity up.
Here's Tim Beckham. Beckham, a couple of strikeouts and a base hit in between, and he takes a fastball in for strike 1. Oh, 2. Ocasio worked the 8th inning. Here Tuesday. It's foul back. Worked an inning last night, picked up a strikeout and a walk. And working the 8th inning tonight with a strikeout. He's ahead of Beckham 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Red Sox lead the Twins at Fenway in the bottom of the 7th. That's 6-3. Shane Peterson on deck. It's raining in Chicago, where the Yankees and the White Sox are delayed. There's a line drive, and it's grabbed by Mercer, the shortstop. So Beckham hits it on a line, but Mercer makes a fine grab.
Tim Beckham did a nice job at getting out to that pitch by Nicasio and getting the barrel to it. Better job by Jordy Mercer to be able to close on that. There's your bonefish catch of the game right there. This one brought to you by Jordy Mercer off the line drive from Tim Beckham. A nice job of watching that ball all the way in. Boy, nothing going the Rays' way tonight.
Shane Peterson swings through this one, strike 1. Orioles shut out the Blue Jays 2-0. Jimenez gets that win. Brock saved it. Happ, the losing pitcher. 0-2. So the Orioles get back to 500 despite that horrible stretch they went through. They're at 500.
That's who the Rays are going to tangle with next.
And strike 3 called on Peterson. Rays are up and down 1-2-3. Bottom of the 8th coming. 4-0 Pittsburgh. Road trip moves on to Baltimore tomorrow, and Jake Faria will open the series against the Orioles, looking for his 4th win. Coming off a no decision. We'll be with you at 6:30 tomorrow. That'll be Jake Faria against Chris Tillman. And then a late afternoon start on Saturday. Our coverage begins at 3:30. Jake Odorizzi against Dylan Bundy, and Alex Cobb back at it Sunday against Kevin Gossman. Here's a ground ball up the middle and a base hit, this time by Jaso on the first pitch he sees from the Rays lefty. Caleri came on, made 1 pitch, a strike to Jaso in the 7th, and the caught stealing ended the inning. Jaso sends this one up the middle for a base hit. It's now 10 hits for Pittsburgh tonight. Polanco, who hit a home run in the 6th inning. This is that first offering for a strike. Oh, 2. Caleri can spend time with both Montgomery and Durham this year. Invited to spring training by the Braves. And the Rays signed him when the Braves let him go. Ground ball, second base, Beckham. Echeverria 1, first base, safe, the call there. Ball not hit overly hard, and the Rays did everything they could, and Polanco just did beat the throw in.
Well, being a left-handed hitter helps. Beckham with the flip. Echeverria gets rid of it quickly, gives that play a chance, but Polanco got down the line just ahead of the throw.
Now here's Mercer. Jordy Mercer, the shortstop, 0 for 3, and the pitch is a strike. It's a strike at the knees. Caleri was in the Mets organization for quite a while. Spent just a limited amount of time, very limited at AAA for them. One ball, 2 strikes.
You know what's been impressive here too is that arm angle that he's coming from, and we've seen the velocity tick up 90. That last pitch was 91. That's really good velocity from such an extreme arm angle.
Taken the other way, out of play, foul. This year, the Rays lefty had spent the entire season at Durham, and he strikes out Mercer.
You know what? And for the second time. So he's had the low arm angle where he's below, sidearm. He's, down, and then all of a sudden he'll change it and bring it above just a little bit. More traditional delivery right there. So he's giving you a couple of different arm angles already. That pitch right there was 93 miles an hour, and that's really impressive. So not only do you have the 90-91 from down below, but then you can bring it up a little bit, get a little bit more velocity and a different look.
And a strike to get ahead of Chris Stewart. So Caleri had been in the Rays organization, then got the invite by the Braves in the spring. They let him go, and the Rays picked him up again, and he spent his time at AAA Durham, and here he is in the big leagues. Oh, and there's the strikeout baseball for Caleri, his first big league strikeout. So there's a whole collection underway down there.
Got one for each arm angle, the strikeout, the first pitch.
Yeah, the first out, the caught stealing. Made sure he had that one. And this one a little close, and it spins Stewart around.
I think I saw in there a picture of the Mormon Tabernacle.
1-2 the count. Caleri working here in the bottom of the 8th. Put into play toward the middle. Echeverria fields and steps on the bag at the same time. And so a man left on base. We head into the 9th. Echeverria is going to lead it off. inning. They're down by 4. Reminder now, you can vote for the All-Star selections, and Corey Dickerson has made a late surge to take over the lead in the DH voting, and you can vote up until 11:59 tonight. Your last chance to vote. That's RaysBaseball.com/vote. Dickerson hoping he'll get a chance to hit again here in the 9th inning. It's a 4-0 ball game right now. We'll see what the Rays can do. Edgar Santana, the right-hander, on to make his 7th appearance. Echeverria to lead off. Nicasio worked a 1-2-3/8, and now it's Santana. Sucre due next. On the outside corner.
We're showing some nasty stuff here. That first fastball, 94, with some late sinking action. That right there, a snappy little slider.
Coming up, Rays Live, the post game presented by W.B. Mason. Richard Aresta is getting ready right there to break down this contest. Jamison Taillon very good for Pittsburgh. We'll have the Kevin Cash press conference, and Alex Cordry will have interviews from the clubhouse. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Boys getting ready to assume the position, and Arestas right there. Little.
Yeah, they're serious.
Yeah. Last minute preparation.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Arestas, some last minute instructions right there.
Try to cover all their bases. Great comeback.
And a cut and a miss. Echeverria got just a little of it to stay alive. That fastball in the mid-90s, and he got just a little of it, tipping it at the feet of Stewart.
Got some late action to it. Look at that ball just kind of burrow its way down into the zone and able to get just the top little piece of that ball, stay alive.
Now a drive into left field. Jaso will go back. He's at the track and makes the catch. Boy, it can get to be a long way out there in left field. And Jaso got back in front of the wall, making the catch on that long drive. There's a lot of Kentucky bluegrass to cover out there. And Jaso got back.
That ball well struck by Echeverria. Thought that had a chance to get out of here. John Jaso never leaves sight of that ball and makes the catch as he bumps into the wall.
Jesus Sucre at the plate.
I'll tell you, that's some good sink right there. At 95 miles an hour, to be able to get that kind of late sink. And some guys coming out of this bullpen here in Pittsburgh with some impressive stuff.
There's a base hit the other way. Sucre's aboard. It's his 2nd hit. The Rays pick up their 8th hit of the night. Well, the Rays need base runners, and there's one of them.
Oh, and, you know, and they're in the right part of the order too. You know, you get another base runner or 2, and then you get into the power guys up at the top. So you've got a chance to really knuckle down here, have a couple of good ABs, and the Rays could make this thing interesting.
Trevor Plouffe will hit for Kolarek.
I'm sure that Arestas and Richard talking about that right now.
Working on contingency plans depending upon how this game finishes. There's a strike to Plouffe. Rivero, the hard throwing left-hander, looms in the bullpen if they need him. As the Rays feel Dickerson should be on the All-Star team, this Pittsburgh clubhouse feels that Rivero, the lefty, should definitely be a part of the National League All-Star pitching staff.
Well, that ERA is under 1. Came into the series .68. Rays did get him that first night. Got it up to a .88. But boy, last night, did he have a chip on his shoulder or what? I mean, he was regularly spitting out 101-mile-an-hour fastballs. No joke.
It's a 2-strike count on Plouffe. Rays stranded 11 men last night. They've left 9 on so far tonight. A base runner aboard with 1 out. Now the ball gets away, and down to second base goes Sucre.
Too much movement there.
Well, a pass ball charged to Stewart. It's a 1-2 count on Plouffe. It's too high. 2-2. Top of the order on deck, Steven Souza Jr. Boy, if the Rays could get another man on board, it would be an interesting scenario. And a swing and a miss, and Plouffe is out on strikes. It's the 8th strikeout for Pittsburgh pitching tonight.
Filthy finisher. Watch this thing bottom out. My goodness.
Well, the Rays on the verge of being shut out for the 4th time. They've been shut out by the Yankees, the Royals, and the Angels this year. They're down to their last out. Here's Steven Souza Jr. And the pitch is a fastball for strike 1. All of the shutouts have been combination shutouts against the Rays. We've seen 4 pitchers tonight. Santana the 4th. Fly ball into right field. That's hanging up for Polanco, and this game is over. Rays got a hit and a base runner in the 9th inning, but they leave him aboard. And the Pirates win the series 2-1. Win this one 4-0. Taillon will pick up the win. He's 4-2, and Archer will take the loss. His record now 6-5. For Ron Anderson and Alex Cordry, Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast and not the outcome. Rays Live, the postgame presented by WB Mason, comes your way next.